Hi and welcome to 1111 or welcome back to 1111. I'm Tia Dunn and today I am waiting right now for my autism assessment, ADOS. I'm not sure that I can remember what it stands for, but that's what I've got in 23 minutes. I had my ADHD assessment on Monday, and while I haven't yet had my official report back, she does think that I have ADHD. And she also thinks there's a high chance, she said to me she would be very surprised if I didn't also have autism. And this is I'm still processing it, but it's kind of, I wanted this because I just would like, if not that, then why am I the way that I am, kind of thing. And I'm late to be diagnosed. I'm also, I'm also perimenopausal, so going through things like that. And I was about a year ago diagnosed with OCD. Now, these aren't all things that suddenly happened. I didn't suddenly get OCD or catch ADHD or get infected by autism. Like, I think with the wider conversation around neurodivergence, I have found that certain things really resonate with me, and I've had like lots of like aha moments, like, oh, maybe that's why I do this, or So, I've done lots of online tests that confirm I have traits of both. But it does feel important for me to actually have a diagnosis or not. Like, it's validation somehow. And especially, I think I see a lot of eye rolling around the letters, the ADHD, the ASD, the ADHD, the OCD. I see a lot of like, oh, not another one, like cynicism or accusations that people might just be jumping on a bandwagon. And so I feel too paranoid to kind of say that about myself loudly without someone else having validated me for it. Isn't that wild? I need someone else to tell me. It's so interesting. I think this thing around, like, because there are certain things in life that you need to be diagnosed for. Diseases and such what. And then there are some things where I feel like you kind of feel might be innately true for you, but if you can't get support for those things unless you do actually have a diagnosis. So, and then there's quite a grey area, which I call addiction, especially addiction to alcohol, as it's such a widely used and legal substance. That I really think is a spectrum. It's progressive. I think I considered myself to have a problem with alcohol long before I stopped drinking alcohol. I tried to stop drinking alcohol several times, sometimes for long periods of time, sometimes for short periods of time. But I would do those tests online, much like I did the OCD tests online, or the ADHD tests online, or the autism tests online, etc., and the personality tests online. I love all of that stuff. And I would do them quite frequently, like, am I an alcoholic? Which even that as a label is, I think, perhaps a bit outdated now and really not very helpful. Because, why is that specific to alcoholic? Why is that, it has such connotations. And the perception is that you've really got to be a bit of a wino on the street. I don't know. Like, there's a stereotype, isn't there? And people who are addicted to drugs are addicts. Or gambling, you're an addict, or you're a sex addict, or, you're a coke addict, or you're... But alcoholism, you're an alcoholic, not a drugaholic, you're not a gambaholic. Oh, although you are a workaholic. I don't know, it's just weird to me. And it's something that you can't go and do a test for. Like, I know people who I consider to have a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol, shall we say, who are addicted to alcohol, shall we say. I'm not going to call them alcoholics because I don't think that's a useful term. Well, there's a lot of shame wrapped around it as well. But who are addicted to alcohol, who probably don't think they are, and who have certainly never done those tests. So then there are people who will say, well, if you're aware enough to be doing those tests, if you think you're an alcoholic, you're probably not. And that's quite a useful misconception, I think, isn't it? If you think you've got a problem, you probably haven't, because you're self-aware enough to know, and therefore you can stop it and do something in the bud. And stop it and do something in the bud? Nip it in the bud and do something about it. I didn't know we were going to go here from there. Here being addiction, there being autism assessment. I guess it was just all about like that, the power of self-diagnosis versus having a formal diagnosis. There is no formal diagnosis for addiction, I don't think. Certainly not alcohol addiction that I know of. But you can't go to the doctor and say, can you test me for it? And yet it's a killer. Anyway, so I've got my autism assessment coming up in 14 minutes. I've collected some items for it because I was asked to in the preparation guide. So I've got a pencil. I've got a bottle cap lid. I've got a teaspoon. You ever used to do that? See how long you could balance a spoon on your nose. I'm an idiot. I've got an elastic band, but I'm not sure how I really feel about this particular elastic band. So I've also got a scrunchie, which I think I feel a bit better about. I've got a key, and I've got a cloth. So, yeah. And my time elasticity means that I actually thought this appointment was happening half an hour earlier than it actually is. which is why I tend to be hideously early for things. It's weird time, isn't it? Because I think I used to always be late for things, horribly late for things. Not so much work or school things necessarily, but social engagements, meeting with people, constantly late, like couldn't quite get my head together. And then I think I was in my early 30s when I was told by someone who had been waiting for me for over an hour how rude it was and how inconsiderate it was of other people's time. I think up until that point it had been somewhat tolerated. Oh, she's a bit flaky. And after being told how it made the other person feel, I kind of stopped being late somehow. 11:11.